well, really mulling over the title for this video, but bases, actually base, B-A-S-E, in a math sense, in a true or false sense. This one's very, very hard to explain or follow, and I haven't found a good video to refer you to, but it's about the basis of numbers themselves and counting, how we count what we count, and how our math works together, kind of. So, true or false? True or false? We break down to a 0 or a 1, right? Let's say the 0 is a false and the 1 is true. As long as we have that same definition of true and false, 0 and 1, we can speak about true and false. Now, a computer uses zeros and ones, but it uses them from a word. The computer word is 8 bits, then 16 bits, then 32 bits, then 64 bits. So the word of a computer has changed in length. But oddly, what we do with it hasn't much. The bulk of a computer works on base 2 logic and operands. At its very roots, it's moving zeros and ones around, or it's shifting words, moving words, reading and writing. Very simple instructions done repetitively over and over and over again, millions of times to give you 1 + 1 = 2. So that's base 2. In base 2 counting, when you get to 3, 3 becomes expressed as 1, 1. 4 is 1, 0, 0. This would be much better with a blackboard. So why is that interesting? It's just the functional basis for a computer is Boolean operands, Boolean operators, done repetitively over and over again until they look like they're magic and give you a result. That's the world of machine code. Writing the code that's the final result that runs on the software that you have in your computer. So this base 2 concept, and even knowing that word length, because which bit in a 64-bit word are you asking if it's true or false? Did you read the right word when you read the word? So these computer analogies can go on and on. So a computer works in base 2, very basically. For it to express to us in base 10, integers, numbers that we use today, is a bit of software. Conversion factors. Turning into ASCII characters. So, fascinating, just amazing stuff. So base 10, everyone knows base 10. The metric system uses and forces base 10 much better than SAE, the American system, whatever we want to term this thing, the inches and the feet and the 12s, and the not dividing everything to equal numbers of 10 just makes it a little bit more confusing for Americans to do math and to speak metric versus SAE conversations, which matter in engineering, oh my gosh. So base 10, pretty familiar with. You count up to 9. When you get to 10, you add another digit onto the number. So you know how it works. You can write that stuff down. Did you know one civilization worked in base 60? Their life, that was their math, evolved around a base 60 number. My speculation would be it kind of matches something to do with the changing of the seasons and the length of seasons and time in season, because that's more what that civilization was attuned to than worrying about daylight savings time and whatever that is. So that faded, but this base numbering, this base working of computers, that requiring a 0 or a 1, and error checking to know if it should have been a 0 or a 1 is part of computers. So what else could you make into computer code? You could use base 3. Count up to 2. Once you get to 3, a 3 would be a 1-0 when you write it down. These are very hard transformations to make if you haven't gone through them a few times in your brain. So base 3 numbering system is going to throw everything off. All of your current comprehension, yet if you worked through it, you could see that it could be useful somewhere. Well, base 3 also supports trinary states. Right now we only support binary states in computing. Trinary state is what they're seeing in quantum computing, where it's there, or it's not there, or it's maybe there. So that could change a paradigm in computing. It could, to be able to think in a base 3 mode, could be of value somewhere. Base 60 mode could be of value. I've known computer words that were 128 bits. Which one was true? But that fundamental base conversation is a really deep computer systems conversation. It's not something that would surface or bubble to the top in many areas or realms, but it's just interesting to peck at. Computers, the only way we know how to make them work is with that base 2 stuff going on. We're not ready for base 3.